Hello everyone, and welcome to Shdows Secrit. Tonight, we travel into the heart of the desert, Egypt, where beneath the burning sands, a discovery was made that should never have seen the light of day. A tomb so dark, so cursed, that even the ancient pharaohs ordered it erased from all records. But fate has a strange way of revealing what's meant to stay buried. It was the year 1924. The world was still obsessed with the golden treasures of Tutankhamun, and every explorer dreamed of uncovering their own piece of immortality. Among them was a man named Dr. Andrew Caldwell, a British archaeologist known for his obsession with lost tombs and forbidden scriptures. Caldwell believed that deep within the Valley of the Kings, there was a tomb not dedicated to any pharaoh, but to something older, something erased from human memory. Locals called it Qabr al-Ilah Allah Ism Lahu, the tomb of the Nameless God. One winter morning, guided by an old Bedouin map and strange coordinates from a forgotten papyrus, Caldwell and his small team of Egyptian diggers began their excavation. Days passed, weeks passed, sandstorms, unbearable heat, and broken tools slowed their progress. But then, something appeared. Beneath layers of stone and sand, they uncovered a doorway, sealed with pitch-black tar and marked with unknown symbols. Not hieroglyphs, but twisted, spiraling shapes that seemed alive when light touched them. One of the locals, an old man named Hassan, immediately backed away and whispered, "Haza laisa makan lil bashar." This place is not for men. Caldwell laughed it off, calling it superstition. He ordered the door broken open, but as the crowbar cracked the seal, a gust of icy wind burst out, cold, heavy, and smelling of metal and death. The torches flickered, and one worker dropped instantly, his eyes rolled back, whispering a single word, "Al-Maut," death. Ignoring the omen, they entered. The inside was silent, suffocating. Dust hung like smoke in the air. Their footsteps echoed as if the chamber itself was breathing. On the walls were painted scenes, but not of gods or kings. They showed people kneeling before a creature, tall, jackal-headed, but different from Anubis. Its eyes were empty sockets, and its mouth, an open black void. Beneath it were inscriptions written in red pigment, words that no scholar could read. But Caldwell noted one recurring phrase, a circle drawn again and again, surrounded by smaller figures bowing. At the center of the tomb stood a black stone sarcophagus. It was unlike anything they'd ever seen, smooth as glass but darker than obsidian, as if it absorbed the torchlight. Caldwell touched it and said, "This stone, it's warm." The others stepped back. Hassan begged him not to open it, but curiosity won. As they lifted the lid, the air turned ice cold. Their breath froze mid-air. From inside came a faint hum, like a whisper carried from miles away, and then something exhaled. That night, 2 of the workers vanished. Their tools were found near the entrance, but their footprints simply stopped in the sand. The remaining crew panicked. Some swore they saw shadows moving on their own. Caldwell wrote in his journal, "There are more footsteps here than men. I feel watched even when alone." The following days grew stranger. Food rotted overnight. Lanterns dimmed without reason, and every photograph taken of the tomb came out completely black. Cameras worked fine outside, but inside, nothing. Pure darkness. Caldwell's assistant, Mr. Renwick, claimed he heard chanting from the sarcophagus at night, voices whispering his name. Then, one night, Caldwell awoke to find the black sarcophagus slightly open. Inside, nothing, just darkness. But on the wall above it, new markings had appeared. 13 tiny figures kneeling before the same creature, as if the wall had recorded the team itself. By morning, Renwick was gone. Hassan fled into the desert, screaming that the tomb had taken their souls. Caldwell wrote in panic, "The shadows whisper my name. The stone hums under the moonlight. I fear we have released something not meant to be seen." After that, his notes stopped. Weeks later, a rescue team from Cairo arrived. The camp was destroyed, tents shredded, journals scattered, tools half buried in sand. The tomb's entrance had been resealed with fresh tar. Inside, the air was unbearably cold. The sarcophagus was empty, but the wall now showed 14 kneeling figures. No bodies were ever found. The government sealed the site, labeling it hazardous to enter. Officially, no tomb was recorded there, but local villagers still hear strange sounds on full moon nights, humming, chanting, and sometimes screaming. Decades later, in 1987, an American research team used satellite imaging to relocate Caldwell's coordinates. But something was wrong. The coordinates had shifted by several kilometers, as if the tomb had moved. One researcher, Dr. Miles Carter, found a small fragment of the black stone buried near the dunes. He sent it to his lab in New York. A week later, he was found dead, mouth filled with sand, expression frozen in horror. The stone disappeared from evidence. For years, people tried to explain it scientifically: gases, hallucinations, mass hysteria. But one Egyptologist named Dr. Rania Saeed secretly studied Caldwell's journals. She discovered something shocking. The same spiraling symbols from the tomb appear in ancient texts from pre-dynastic Egypt. References to a deity called He Who Waits Beneath. Not a god, but a warden. A being created to guard the boundary between life and death. When pharaohs turned to dark rituals for immortality, they tried to control this warden. They failed. The priests erased its name, sealed it beneath the sands, and cursed any who disturbed it. Dr. Rania's last recorded message before vanishing said, "Caldwell didn't discover the tomb, it discovered him." Since then, every attempt to find the site has failed. Satellite images distort, compasses spin, and even drones malfunction near the valley. Locals avoid the area entirely. Some say the sand itself hums at night, vibrating like a heartbeat. A few explorers who dared to visit claimed they saw faint torchlight under the dunes, as if something below was still alive. In 2001, a private collector in London bought a sealed crate labeled C. Caldwell Expedition. Inside were old photographs, all blank, and one small black stone fragment. The collector's home burned down that same night. The fire department reported that the flames had started from the inside of a sealed safe. No one survived. Today, the tomb of the Nameless God remains one of archaeology's greatest forbidden mysteries. The Egyptian government denies its existence, but whispers continue among scholars. Some believe it's the resting place of a forgotten deity. Others believe it's a doorway, one that should never be opened again. But one thing is certain: those who seek it don't return the same. Because there are things in history not meant for discovery. Things buried not to hide the past, but to protect the future. So the next time you hear about a new tomb found beneath Egypt's sands, remember this story. And ask yourself, what if some doors were sealed for a reason? What if the real treasure was never gold, but silence? Thank you for watching Shdows Secrit. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more terrifying stories from the shadows.